I had myself a conversion today. I am not now the same person that I was this morning. I've gone through several permutations, and I want to document it here in this video, what's going on. So Carl Jung was approached by the founders of the 12-step program, and they asked them about what to do with alcoholics. How do we help alcoholics? And he said that they after thinking about it, he said they should have a conversion. That's what would help them. And that's what I have been in the 12-step program. That's what they do. They convert you. They convert. When your religion is alcohol, and you change, you convert, and you become being sober becomes, the sobriety becomes your religion. That's how they deal with it. So a similar thing happened to me today, except my addiction isn't alcohol. Has never been alcohol. It was sex. So the way it happened, I was sexually deprived for most of my life, for reasons I'm not going to go into right now. But what happened was 2 years ago, I had a kind of awakening in a way. I was able to, for some reason, get my sexual, through changes in my life, I was able to have a lot of sexual experiences all of a sudden. I had a breakthrough. I was able to realize fulfill a lot of my sexual desires, satisfy myself. I met several women, and I felt I was actualizing myself by addressing my sexual needs, fulfilling my sexual desires in a way that it was kind of like a religious experience. It was a conversion in itself. I had a conversion back then, and so what happened was then my sexuality became my highest priority. It became the most important thing in my life. Now maybe this was right at that time, but it became troublesome for me to maintain that as my goal, as my priority. I've had trouble with that for 2 years. And it just dawned on me today that I was wrong all along. Maybe in the beginning that was right for me, but I wasn't supposed to make that my goal for these 2 years. And it just dawned on me. I was watching a video that I found on Instagram, and this guy was saying that you should not waste your sexual energy. You should not make sex your highest priority, because going after sex, what you do is you feel depleted and you feel more lonely afterwards. And he was right. That's what happens when all your resources go to fulfilling your sexual desires. You keep going after it like any addiction, and you feel emptier afterwards, and you keep going after it to fulfill it. And it just dawned on me that I realized that this is true. What I'm hearing is true. This is what I've been going through. And I realized that the false belief that I adopted 2 years ago as a result of the experiences I had was the source of my sorrow all this time. Which often is the source of sorrow in most all situations. Most all the suffering we face is because of bad behavior we have, because of bad beliefs that we have adopted for whatever, whether it's a trauma or some misguided notion enters our mind because of some experience, and it makes us to behave badly, and the bad behavior results in bad circumstances, which communicates to us that we're doing something wrong. And at the point that we get it and we realize we're doing wrong and we correct ourselves, then the correct situation corrects itself. This is what happened to me. So I had myself a conversion, and sex is no longer my highest priority. I've corrected myself to the relief, I think, of the people who know me, because I have been vulgar in some way. I feel people who know me have been offended by the things that I say, the sexual explicit things that I say. But I've learned tremendously from this experience, and that's what I want to talk about. This is what I do. I have experiences, and I learn from them, and I share them. That's my function and purpose, as I have stated in previous videos. So that's what I'm going to do. So the realization came that this is one truth that I'm going to say. You are the one you've been seeking all your life, the person you've been looking for all your life. And this realization come because I was always looking for someone else to fulfill my desires. And it's no matter what your addictive behavior is, if you're relying on something outside of yourself, whether it's a drug, it's a food, it's alcohol, it's gambling, it's money, a relationship, another person, when you depending on something external to yourself, even some religion, if there's some God outside you, you want the Messiah or something that you're expecting to, it's external to you, and you're relying on that to make you happy, then you're misguided, and you're not gonna be happy, because you're relying on something external to you. And the realization that the one that has your answers, the one you're seeking, the one that the solution to all of your problems is you. The source of your happiness is you. And the fact that I realize this now makes me a liberated, a free man. So it is now the morning after the day I had the conversion, and I want to add some more material to what I added. I want to say that what I went through 2 years ago, the sexual kind of revolution that I went through, is well documented in my videos that I recorded at the time. I made 3 videos that are public. There are some that are private that I will show you if you ask me individually. But the ones that are public, one is called "I Cuddled with a Goddess." It's down below in the lower parts of my playlist. There's one called "Close to God," and there's one called "Oral Sex as Sacrament." I also have a paper that I wrote that I will include the link to. It's if you go to theabsenceofsuffering.com, it's near the top of the page, and it's entitled "The Connection Between Sex and the Intellect." So please check that out and enjoy.